Hey guys, Natalia Schneimler here. I help boy moms have a better relationship with their sons and themselves by teaching them the tools how to manage their mind so that when anything comes up in life, they know exactly how to take care of themselves and their kids. Hey guys, how are you doing? How's your summer going? Mine's just starting out. My kids are in camp. We already went to see my in-laws and swim in their pool, went paddleboarding, went tubing with the kids. It's been a great start to the summer, so I'm excited. So I've been thinking a lot lately about why I'm doing this, about my mission, about my reason for doing this, for keep on doing this, and why I've been doing this for so long now, 4 years. Woohoo, congratulations to all of us. And that really brought me to today's episode, and I'm going to start out by telling you I just had coffee with a bunch of my tennis crew. It was raining a little bit, so we just decided to skip tennis and go have coffee. And we really had a good chat, and we were just chatting about, actually 2 out of the 4 people are from US, and we're in Canada. And so we were talking about the differences about Canada and US, and started talking about driving in Calgary and getting tickets, like penalties for speeding or parking or whatever. Because one of our friends has just gotten a new license plate. It's called add-in. It's like a tennis term, so it's kind of vanity license plate. So we're all, we're laughing about it. And ever since he got the plate, he's gotten 2 traffic tickets, or like speeding ticket, not speeding, but whatever, infractions. And he was just saying how maybe it's because of the license plate, or it's kind of like unlucky. But he's been feeling bad about the tickets. But then when we all started talking about it, we all started sharing our stories with all the different tickets that we've gotten over the years. Me moving here to Calgary from Toronto, it didn't give out as many tickets for speeding as it does here. In Toronto, you can drive 20 kilometers over the speed limit and no one cares. Everyone's driving 20 over. Whereas here, you drive, specific places, they sit there with a photo radar and just give out tickets for going like 15 over in a very slow zone. So really, it takes an adjustment to come here and learn the way the city works. So anyway, we're all shared all of our stories, which turned out to be a lot more than anyone expected. And he was saying that, this makes me feel a lot better about my tickets. And this brings me to the point of what I want to say, is that this is my reason of why that I am recording all these podcasts, is so that you don't feel like you are alone in the world with your mental health, mental wellness, quote unquote, problems, with your feelings. So just like he was feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one getting all these tickets, I am here for you and for me, for all of us, to know that we're not the only ones getting these feelings, these problems in our emotional life, not our tickets, not our speeding tickets, but more in our emotional life, more in our problems in our relationships, and so that we don't think there's something wrong with us. This brings me back to a few weeks ago. I was chatting with a mom at the playground, and she goes, "What's wrong with me?" She says, I don't know what's wrong with me. And she just kept on just sharing a very common experience of just being tired, parenting, life, work, etc., and not feeling her best and just not really thriving. And she goes, I don't know what's wrong with me. And in that moment, this is the moment that I think is driving my passion to be the messenger here, is to kind of tell you, if you're thinking you're the only one and something's wrong with you, tell you that that's actually not true. It's actually all of us. And whatever the deepest thing that you think is wrong with you is actually not true. There's nothing wrong with you. And in fact, it's actually very common, and all of us have it. in different variations. So if all of us have it in different variations, these deep, 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 shameful things that we think are only us, and if it's normal and spread across all of us, then we don't have to, feel so bad about it that something's actually wrong with us. Then it would be something wrong with us if we didn't have it, because that would be the anomaly. It would be the exception to the rule. And I told the same thing to my son the other day when he came downstairs and he said, I'm having that feeling again. And I think the feeling he's describing is the overwhelm, anxiety. It's like that really unpleasant feeling that he gets sometimes, maybe even a version of some sort of panic attack, or he says, I really don't like it. It's really fast. I really don't like that feeling. And he just says, Mom, I'm having that feeling again. And the best news I could tell him is I said, this is part of life. And he says, I really don't like it. I'm like, that's also part of life. And that is the truth. And I think because I've spent so much time myself, even to this day, I sometimes forget and feel really, really bad that, oh my gosh, it's only me. Something's wrong with me. And then I sit and hide in that shame spiral. And I've spent that before I got the answer, like years ago. I really feel really passionately about spreading the message that it's just not the case. All of us have it. All of us have these bad feelings. All of us yell at the kids. All of us have this really, really horrible part to us that we really don't like. And we think there's only something wrong with us and it's only just us. And the second part to my mission, my passion, is once you realize that there's nothing wrong with you, that every single other person has this terrible, terrible experience or feeling or action or whatever problem you have that's worse, once you realize that that's normal, then I have the great news for you is that we can easily fix this because I have the tools for you to manage your mind around it. And it's just very easy, simple. You just execute. It's very practical. You can apply it today. You can practice it. There's definitely processes you can use to then solve these things. Even sometimes when the solution is simply to feel your feeling, like with my son, there was nothing to fix. There's only thing to fix was his delusion that it's not normal. And to accept, like, yep, that's part of life. Let's feel it. Let's move through it. Let's get, this is it. This is it. And there's all these different tools and techniques and processes we can apply to then fix our own quote unquote problems. And that's the best news I have and that I've received in my life. Number one, there's nothing wrong with me. Everyone goes through this. And number two, here's how you can deal with it, fix it, take care of yourself, whatever you want to call it. Like the simple way is like fix the problem. But really, I don't like calling it a problem because it's not a problem. It's just our human brain, our human nervous system, and that's how we operate. So really, I like to call it manage ourselves or take care of ourselves. So that is my mission, to help as many of you to get out of the place where you think something's wrong with you in any terms and realize it's normal. And then once you realize this is totally part of life, then I can help you, teach you tools to manage yourself, your brain, your feelings, your thoughts, your actions, how you show up in relationships. That's it. That's the easy part, because then it's fixable. There's nothing wrong with you. Everything is just part of life, normal part of life. And so I really wanted to share that with you. That's why I feel like I'm paying it forward by spreading this message, because I needed that message so badly years ago when I got it myself. And I, for years, thought there's something wrong with me because I kept on having these fights in my relationships with my husband, with my mom. I kept getting upset and I kept thinking that I didn't have any framework for how to operate, of how to solve things. And I thought that for a while I thought it wasn't my fault, but then at the end I was thinking, okay, well, I can't change them and it must be me. Something wrong with me. And then you get really down on yourself, and from that place, you do nothing to help yourself. So that's why, when I remember coming across Rachel Balducci's a blog where she shared her parenting journey, it made me feel like I am not the only one. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. There's other people who struggle with the same thing, and there's nothing wrong with them, and we can move forward. And then the second part to my equation was finding Brooke Castillo's work, where I found a way to manage myself through, looking at my thoughts, seeing my feelings, my actions, and my results, and separating all those from the facts of life. And that really gave me a really practical way to really manage myself. And to this day, I use that process. I use everything that I've learned. And that's why I'm here sharing this with you, so that you can have the same thing. So really 2 things. There's nothing wrong with you. Second thing, we can fix this, whatever problem you're having, with these simple tools. That's it. Easy peasy. And if you need, of course, any help, that's why I offer one-on-one private coaching, so that you can get my years of experience and knowledge applied to your specific situation, your life, your relationship, whatever it is, anything. And then you can really, really, really take a look at what's going on for you through my brain, where I can see it in a more useful way, where we can break it down and show you, oh, okay, this is how you're creating this for yourself with these thoughts and these feelings. And it has actually nothing to do with the world or the person out there. And that's where the magic comes in, is that when you have someone else working with you to gain that perspective on your life, to step away from it, outside of it, and look at it from a different view, then you can get distance enough from it so that you can change it if you want to. So I love spreading this message. And if you're listening and are finding this really helpful, please share with your friends. Give me a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to it. Share it in Instagram or Facebook, wherever you are on social media. And we can have this message spread to more people, so they don't feel like there's something wrong with them. Just like when we were talking about these tickets on driving, we haven't talked about it. This person would have walked away thinking that he's the only one who got tickets this year or ever. And that's just not true. We all have our stories with all these different imperfect mistakes that we have, but we just don't walk around and share them enough. And so I actually catch myself often how if I saw that person one day, actually, this is what happened. I saw my sister-in-law one morning, and then later that day, I just caught myself imagining this was when I was having not a perfect moment parenting my kids. I just noticed that my brain went to imagining my sister-in-law having a really perfect parenting moment, or actually always life. And I just caught my brain and I thought, really? Why would you? This is just so made up in your head. Of course, everyone has struggles in their parenting sometimes. Why would you create this false image of somebody else doing it perfectly all the time? It's just ridiculous. But if I haven't caught that in my brain, which so many times I haven't, then I would have just felt so bad. Like, hey, again, see, something's wrong with me. I'm the only one doing this poorly. And that's just a lie. We have to remind our brain we're not the only ones. This is for everyone has this. And the lie makes us feel really bad, and the lie keeps us stuck in the poor behavior and poor feeling. All right, I think you got my message. I love you all so much. I'm always here for you. If you need any help, you can always email me at natalia@coachingnatalia.com or go to my website, sign up for a free session where it's just you and me on Zoom, totally private, where you can tell me everything that's bothering you, and I can be there for you and hold your hand and help you learn the tools so that you can just do this yourself anytime. Okay? Love you all. Oh, go to my website, www.coachingnatalia.com. Go to sign up for a free mini session and pick a time there, and I'll see you on Zoom. Okay, guys, love you. Have a great week. Bye.